is going to be another video. This one's going to be a little different than the sunfish videos, but it's going to use something that same sort of technique that I used when restoring the gel coat. At least I hope so. So this one is going to be working on a Grumman aluminum canoe that I picked up off, well, I'm hoping to pick up off of Facebook Marketplace. The guys listed it for free. It's got kind of an ugly paint job, but I'm hoping I can remove that. My guess is this would be like about a 3-video view of it. At the moment, the guy's kind of gone a little dark on me, so I'm a little concerned that he's a flake, but we'll see. I'm going to continue to head up that way, but you know, hopefully this video will work out, and we'll learn a little something on the technique. I guess that's it for the intro, and we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks. All right, I was able to hook up with the guy with the canoe. Lost a little time due to some miscommunication, but you know, that sort of thing happens. The canoe itself is obviously, it has this very, very ugly paint job. That'll be the first thing to tackle. I want to make this kind of more, let's say, neighborhood friendly. You know, an ugly canoe, I guess it's not just neighborhood friendly, it's also wife friendly. She's not going to want this hanging around the house looking the way it is. So first thing will be get the paint off. You can notice there's a little depression right here. I hope you can see that. I'll try to address that. Not exactly sure how. You can also see there was a patch right here. Seems like it was welded well. So all in all, I think it's a good find. What my long-term plan for this is, I don't know. We'll figure that out. But you know, really what I want to do is see if that process that I used on the sunfish gel coats would translate to the aluminum boats. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on home and then get started. So I'm using citrus strip, which I've used before on other projects, and it works really well. A couple reasons I like it is it's thick, it's kind of sticks exactly where you're putting it. It doesn't have a strong smell. I probably should be wearing gloves. It does burn a little bit if it gets on your hands, but not too bad. I've used others that, boy, if it gets on your hands, it hurts. And you can see it bubbled up really nicely. And this is after 30 minutes of it sitting on the surface. Some people will cover it with plastic so it doesn't dry out and leave it longer. But I wanted to get started on doing some of the scraping. And you can see it's coming off. And it's showing there's another layer of paint down below, which is just not affected by this first application. And I think the first application, you know, is really hitting this black paint, which appears to be kind of a latex paint, which reacts to a stripper much better. So at this point, I've completed the first application from the bow to the stern and scraped it. So this is now the second application that I'm putting onto the canoe and trying to bring up some more of the, you know, get rid of this orange as well. So I'm just spreading it on again. I'm going to let it sit another 30 minutes. You know, so it'll start to bubble up, and you can see I'm adding it pretty thick. I believe I paid about $25 for a half gallon of the citrus strip. I think that's probably pretty much what you're going to see on costs at hardware stores. So I've moved the canoe at this point just to get it out of the sun so it wouldn't dry out as it was doing its thing. And you can see I'm using these scrapers that I picked up, I believe it was off Amazon. What I like about them is the blade is replaceable. With a putty knife, you know, you dull the edge as you do this, and then the putty knife isn't as effective as it was. This allows you to kind of change it out as you go. The only downside with this one is the blades don't hold in, you know, they don't stay in the holder really well. So a lot of times they would pop out as I was doing the scraping, which obviously is frustrating as it flies through the air and you have to chase it down. So the next I followed up after the second application, I came in with my power washer. You can see I'm using probably the most aggressive fitting that it has. I think it's a Ryobi, I think they call it a turbo tip or a turbo nozzle. And it does a pretty good job. You know, it really takes some of the things that were loosened by the stripper, but you know, the scraper didn't remove, or you know, just in the process of moving around scraping, it just got missed. So you know, I would definitely recommend you know, following up an application with a power washer. I guess the only downside is the power washer does make a little bit more of a mess, you know, as the paint comes flying off. So I did have actually had to kind of hose down the fence afterwards as well. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Didn't get as far as I wanted. Only got the one half of the canoe stripped. I really thought I'd be able to get both sides done, so it's a little slower than I expected. I think when I was talking this morning, I thought this was going to be a 3-video series. I think it's going to be longer than that because it's just taking longer to even get to the point where I can see of how to bring back the shine on the aluminum, which of course is kind of what the goal of the whole video is. And the other thing is, I talked about at the beginning, there's that dip in the hull, and not exactly sure how I'm going to take that out. I've been thinking about different scenarios of maybe using some hydraulic jacks and see if maybe I can build I don't know, some sort of jig where I can get the pressure to push that back into place. But I don't know. I'll give it a shot and we'll see. That'll be a couple of videos probably from now because I still have a lot of paint to strip, and also kind of want to work on that, on seeing whether or not I can bring it back the shine with, again, what I did in these other videos is wet sanding and then using compounds, polishing compounds. So we'll see. It should be an interesting adventure, and thanks for tuning in, and I guess we'll see you next time.